Hey guys, it's MapleStory here. I've got another video for you guys today. So, I just figured that this would be a very interesting video to do because because I play MapleStory Europe, we have different systems compared to global MapleStory, Korea, MapleStory, C, other Japan, MapleStory, all that stuff. And I know for a fact that global MapleStory don't have this system. But I also know that many people in MapleStory Europe themselves don't even know how the system works or why it's like this, or So I'm going to try and enlighten people on how the system works, and I'll try to explain what I know and what theories I have on the system. Basically, what I'm talking about is these flames, the Rebirth flame system. Basically, MapleStory Europe got a patch maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago that introduced these flames. We had these actually a very long time ago, but they've reintroduced it as a new system entirely. So basically, just to put it short, these Rebirth flames, these drop from bosses, all kinds of bosses these kind of flames drop from. The higher the level of the boss, the higher level of the flame. As you can see, there's a 110 flame, 120, 130, 140, and a 150 flame. These are the oldest possible flames that you can get. There's other kinds of flames that you can get, which are from like Gashapon and from events, but I'll get onto those later. But basically, what these flames do is when you apply it onto an item, it can give it a random set of stats added onto its current stats. It doesn't take up a scroll slot, it doesn't have a chance of booming, it doesn't have to have any requirement apart from the level. So, yeah, I'm going to show you some examples of what kind of stuff you can get on equipment when using flames. I'll show you right now, actually. So, you can technically this is a sneak preview to my equipment video, but I'll show you my pendant and my belt. So as you can see, my pendant, this is my new pendant. As you can see, it has 2% all stats. As you can see, there's a green line that says 2% all stats on the Rising Sun pendant. My Dominator pendant is there too, but it doesn't have any like that. But as you can see, when you apply a flame, it can add an extra bonus potential, like you basically say. So, like on my Rising Sun pendant, it has 2% all stats. On my Dominator pendant, it has been a flame. It's been flamed as well, but as you can see, it doesn't have a percent all stat line. But you can see that the strength, the dex is considerably higher than the int and luck, which is down to the effects of the flame. Flames can add percent all stat. They can add attack. It can add strength. They can add dex. They can add HP. It can add defense, speed. It can add anything basically. It's a really good way to increase your range, and pretty much that's just how the system works in MapleStory. I guess you could say this is our comparison to Nebulites, I guess, from Global. Sort of a bit different, because it's random, but that's sort of how it is. I'll show you my belt as well. My belt's got 4% all stats from the flame as well. As far as I'm concerned, it seems that the higher the level of the item, the more potential or the more stats it gets from a flame, because I'll show you some of my other equipment, like my pocket item. You can even flame your pocket items, and as you can see, it's on the level 30. There's only gained +4 strength, 2 dex, 1 int, 6 luck, and there's nothing really better than that. So yeah, it seems that the higher the level of the item seems to be the better stats from the flames. I'm going to show you some examples right now, actually. So as you can see, I've got flames here. I'm going to use them on some of my random equipment I have here, so my decent skill items like my shoes, my helmet, my Advanced Bless helmet. This is just a random eye accessory I had from ages ago, so I might try on that. And my sword, which I made because I was bored and I might prepare for Kaiser or another class. But I'm going to try to use my flames and on these items to see what stats I get, I guess, for example. So the simple way of using these flames is just the same as using a scroll, for example. You just use the enhancing item. We'll do the sword first, I guess. So we'll use the sword. So as you can see right now, it's 79 strength, 82 dex. What's his face? 82 dex, 329 attack, all this standard stuff. So I'm going to apply a level 150 flame. Actually, before I do that, I'll show you why it won't work. So for example, I try to use a level 130 flame on the 150 sword. When you try to press upgrades, it will just say the requirement of the scroll and the level of the equipment do not match, therefore you cannot use the scroll. It will happen to all kinds of equipment, so yeah. You'll have to use the sword, you have to use the item that's equivalent to that level. So for example, I'll use a 150 flame on it. So and I apply. Yes. So it's been applied. And what do I get? It gained, as you can see, it gained an extra 20 strength, and I think it gained more luck, I'm not sure. Something like that. I gained avoidability. But as you can see, it's random, so I gained 20 strength, which you can argue is quite good, but you could get better. The good thing about flames is you can use them over and over again until you get the stat you like, so because I'm not happy with this, I could just use another 150 flame, which is what I'll do now. So, yep, I'll do it here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, as you can see, if you get lucky, you can get stats like those. 6% extra boss, 3% total damage, and 3% all stats. Yep. That's one way to do it. Yeah. Well then. That was unexpected. But this is what can happen when you use a flame stat on your item. You can get extremely good stats like this on your items, or really crappy stats. And as you can see, I got really lucky and I got really good stats. For weapons, you can gain, yeah, as you can see, you can gain percent damage, you can gain percent stat, percent boss. It's a random amount, so I could have gotten 10% boss, or maybe 1% boss, or whatever whatsoever. You can gain multiple lines like that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, got lucky with that. I also need to explain that you can't use flames on every single item. So, for example, I have my rings here. I have my rings. For example, I want to use my, because it's a level 90, I could use a level 110 flame on ring. So you think you could try using that? No. There are certain items that flames can't be used on, so that would be rings, second weapon, medals, emblem, badges. You can't use it on your hearts. You can't use it on your shoulders. And I think that's it. I don't know why, they just decided that you just can't use it on them, so yeah. But apart from that, you can use flames on every single other piece of equipment. So now I'm going to show you some, I'm going to show you some flames on other equipment. So for example, I'm going to use the level 110 flame now. So the level 110 flame I'm going to use on my shoe. As long as the item is equal to the level, or below it, you can use that flame. So for example, if this shoe was level 90, for example, I could still use a 110 flame. I could use a 120 flame on it, or a 130 flame, 140, 150 flame. A lot of people speculate that if you use the higher level flame on a lower level item, it's better. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't think so. I'm going to test it now. So I'm going to use a level 110 flame on these combat order shoes. So, yep, what did I get? It gained plus 6 strength and 6 defense. So that seems okay, right? So let's try using a little higher up flame. So let's try use the level 120 flame on it. So let's try again. It gained 1 jump. Yep, let's try use the flame higher up than that. 130 flame. It gained 18 defense, as you can see. And let's go back to level 110 flame. It gained 56 accuracy and 1 jump. So as far as I'm concerned, using different level flames on lower level items, or reverse, the way around, it doesn't make a difference. It seems that it doesn't matter what flame you use, you seem to just get the standard normal stats you could normally get. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to clear out, because people think that the higher the level the flame seems to be the better the stats. I don't think so, but what does seem to be a solid proof is that the higher the level of the item, the better stats it gets. Because as you can see, my sword gained a hell of a lot of boost from that flame compared to, for example, this shoe. I mean, obviously it's 2 different items, but you could definitely see that there was a much bigger improvement on the sword than there was on the shoe. So we can talk about that, I guess. Like I said, these flames drop from bosses. They're not really rare. They usually drop 100% from bosses. Chaos Rebirth drop 150 flames. I think Hard Magnus drops 150 flames. 140 flames drop from normal Magnus and Empress. 130 flames drop from Hela, if I'm right. 120 flames drop from, I don't know, I think they drop from Von Leon or Zakum, I guess. And 110 flames drop from the really easy bosses like Easy Zakum, Easy Horntail, those kind of things. They're not really expensive. You can go to the flea market and buy them for like 10 mil, 5 mil. The only expensive ones would be the 150 flames, which are 50 mil each or something like that. So yeah, but as I said, I did mention there's other flames than these 5. After I didn't use that, there's another flame which I don't have, and they're really rare. They're called Eternal Flames. If I could show you a picture, I would, but it doesn't really make a difference. But basically, Eternal Flames are supposed to be the best flames you can get. So they would give you the maximum stats, the maximum bonus boosts, so stuff like that. They're really rare. You can only get them in Gashapon, and there's no other way you can get them. So there's a really low amount of them in the market right now. So not many people really try using them because people don't see a point. But yeah. So let's just summarize what I kind of shoved into one video. I'm not sure if this was really clear or not, but basically, as I said before, flames drop from bosses. Depending on the level of the boss, it depends what kind of flame you get. The higher the level the flame, it means that the more items you can use. The more items that flames can be used on. You can only use the flame of that level on items that are equal to that level or below. So if it's level 130 flame, you can only use the level 130 flame on items that are level 130 or below that level. For 150, 150, and below, stuff like that. What also needs to be said is that you don't need to have any scroll stats. It doesn't need to be potential. It doesn't have to be enhanced or anything. You can just use it whenever you feel like it, and it will work. Like, Rebirth Flames give random stats of any kind. It can give defense, speed, jump, attack, strength, or in this case, percent boss and percent damage, as you can see. So, like, I can see my polearm has also got percent damage as well, and it's got some attack, and it's got some strength, stuff like that. Flames can only be used on certain items. So, as I said before, you can't use it on rings, you can't use it on shoulders, and you can't use it on hearts, second weapons, emblems, badges, and medals. Apart from that, you can use them on any other item, and it should work. However, now we're going to get into something else. You can also get items that are already pre-flamed. What this means is that an item can already be flamed when you get it from a monster. So I'll show you an example here. This polearm. As you can see, this polearm's got plus 22 attack, plus 1260 HP, and it's clean. This means that it's already been flamed. I did not flame this. If you can notice, there's a difference. As you can see, there's a white dot in the top left corner of the picture of the spear. I mean, of the polearm. That white dot is indicating to say that you cannot flame it again. As I told you before, when you use a flame, you can keep using it over and over again to reset the stats to something you like. Unfortunately, this isn't the case for everything. So as you can see, it's got a white dot in the corner. These white dots only appear if you get these items from monster drops or you buy them from shops. So, for example, you buy a Tyrant Belt from the Magnus shop, or you buy something from the Critias shop, or you get these items from Empress. Whenever you try and flame them, it won't work. So, as you can see here, I'll try it now. So, I've got a level 140 polearm. So you think, okay, I want to use a 140 Rebirth Flame. As you can see, it's got the white dot on the top left corner. When I try to use it, this item cannot be used with his equipment. This is why. You can argue this could be a good thing or a bad thing, because sometimes you can get really good stats. For example, 22 attack on a polearm clean is really good to have. But for example, you could be less fortunate. This could have added plus 20 dex or plus 50 magic attack. And then you'd be screwed, because then obviously if you wanted to try reflame it for something better, you wouldn't be able to. So there's one downside to the flame system. But it can pay off, as you can see. You can get really good stats like these, which can give you a hell of a lot of range. I mean, my range increased by a large amount ever since these flames have came in. So, if anything, I think it's been for the better. Some people are quite different towards it. I mean, I also want to briefly highlight saying that the information I'm talking about flames is from my own opinion and from what I've managed to see from using multiple flames on multiple equipments. There's not much information that is solid proof that I can give you. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, only Korea MapleStory and MapleSea have this system. And they don't really post much information online about these Rebirth flames at all, really. So, what the flames I use and what they do is more just down to my observation and seeing what what happens to them basically, and I've shown you what happens when you use these flames. I'll do it again. I'll use a 140 flame on my hat. As you can see, the hat is the same level as the Empress Polearm, but the Empress Polearm has a white dot and this doesn't. So when I use the 140 flame, it will work. And what did it gain? It gained 3% all stats, and I think it gained 7 attack. Or no, I gained 1 attack, I think it was. But yeah, as you can see, random stats like that. Like I said, you can use them over and over again if you're not happy with the current stats to see if you can get anything better. So it's all up to you basically. But as I mentioned before, I think the higher the level of the item, the better chance of you getting better stats on the flame. So if you have something like a level 50 item or a level 30 pocket item, there's a chance you might not get something great, but it never hurts to use it anyway because every little counts. But I think this is going to come to the end of my Flame Rebirth video. I think this one's a bit scrappy, but hopefully it might have given you some idea of what information that you could get from this, like what these flames can do. Basically what I'm trying to say is flame everything you possibly can if you haven't already. I guess if you want to put it that way. So, I mean, flames equal good stats equal more range, so go for it guys. I mean, if you do bossing a lot, and if you do even the small bosses like Zakum and Horntail, the really easy ones, you can still get flames, so there's no hurt in getting these, because obviously you can use them on even the noobiest equipment and still get some range, so I'd recommend doing it. But yep, that's it guys, so see you around and peace.